Hey guys, how's it going? It's Daniels here. Welcome to episode number 27 of this NHL 22 Minnesota Wild franchise mode. If you guys have missed episodes up to this point, head up into the top corner, and if you do enjoy this one, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and hit notifications to show your support, and also feel free to leave comments to possibly get featured. So, last episode, we had quite a few comments discussing kind of what's going on here with this series, and first off, I think the main comment that kind of discussed this was Aiden Hawes saying, do you honestly retire at this point since you've got a three-peat, or are you going to win 6 or 7 Stanley Cups? The press, the media, and the owners, and even the fans are asking. So I responded to that comment saying, that's a good question. Sounds to me like a Chicago Bulls situation as far as they won 3, then they kind of had a down year or 2, and then they won another 3. But yeah, looking at this Minnesota team right now, it's pretty hard to question that there is a lot to be left to desired here with this team. I mean, looking at our awards kind of situation here in my spreadsheet, you guys can see we have won 3 President's Trophies, 3 Stanley Cups, 3 Campbell Bowls in the span of 4 years. And along with that, we've had Hart Trophy winners, Lady Byng winners, Calder winners, like pretty much every single award except for like the Jennings, Masterton, and Selke, pretty much. Apart from that, we've won almost everything else. I guess, yeah, the Norris and the Art Ross, we haven't really had like a top defenseman that's offensively producing like Shea Theodore has been, as you guys can see on the spreadsheet that should be on screen right now. But yeah, I mean, we want to keep it going here. This team's playing extremely well, but at the same time, we do have a draft to get to here, 2029 draft. And, well, apart from that, for comments, we also had Crazy Gamer saying, let's go Wild, love the series, keep it going. Colossus said, loving the series. Also, as a Norwegian, Brian Sexton is doing me proud, keep it up. And yes, Brian Sexton has had a fantastic career here so far in Minnesota. He's been one of our best defensemen, just playing really, really well defensively. Like you can see on the plus minus, he's plus 105 over 400 games. Points aren't really, something we're going to focus on too much with him, simply just because that's the way he's designed as a defenseman. He's meant to be a defensive defenseman, a shutdown defenseman. So apart from that, Martin Sudaram said, how do you get such good coaches in franchise mode? I can only get 3+ or +3s max. So it's a combination of a couple different things. We can't really view the lines right now, but with coaches, first things first, you do have to have a good scheme fit as far as your coaches somewhat match your players. Like we look at Brendan Frank here, and like Michkov, Kaprizov, Foligno, and Rossi aren't as spectacular, but like a lot of these guys have decent or similar fit to the position that we're playing them in. So that's the first thing, is you have to play them in the right position along with your coach's style. And then the other thing that influences not X factors, but the other thing that influences line chemistry is X factors. So if your players don't have X factors, they are going to lose chemistry. And that's where, guys like Michkov and Foligno and all these guys that are just absolutely loaded on X factors, it makes a difference. So finally, I think that was actually it for comments. Yeah, we don't have any other featured comments there, but let's get into this episode. We've got a draft to go here, the 2029 draft, and we do have the 13th overall pick here as well. So let's get into this. I think we're going to be able to land the guy I want. We're picking at number 13, and apart from that, well, let's just take a look and see what other picks we already have, which ones we might need. And I think we do actually have a decent amount of draft picks this year. Yes, we do. We've got a lot in that kind of 100-ish range. We've got obviously the last picks of the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds. But we do have a bunch of other teams' picks in here too, along with our own. So let's get to this. Should be an interesting draft, as we have a couple players that I'm kind of keeping an eye on, but to start things off, looks like we are going to land the defenseman I want in Sheldon Taylor. So apart from that, not really that great a top end of the draft, kind of like 80 rated elite players in here, but we're going to go with Sheldon Taylor first here. Reason being is yes, although Jackson Ernie looks good, Sheldon Taylor has the better system fit, and he's a little bit bigger. And I believe, yeah, he did put up more points as well. So I'm going to go with Taylor over Ernie. And he is a 77 rated two-way defenseman with back at you and in reverse, or back at you and in reverse. So I think he should be a great addition to our defensive group here over the next couple of seasons or so. But I want to see how good this Ernie guy was instead. And okay, he was 78 rated, so he was a little bit better, but he's a defensive defenseman, which we don't necessarily need. But yeah, Jackson Ernie is going to be a good pick for the Islanders as well in the middle of the first round there. So apart from that, pretty strong draft class overall. And for our next pick, I've got a guy pinned here. I know Viitanen looks very enticing as a winger, but I'm going to go with a guarantee here in Brendan Carlson, who is a low elite, NHL ready two-way center from Winnipeg, and he looks really good. How good is he, you ask? He's 80 rated. That is okay. And he's got quick draw, stick him up, and okay, yeah. So yeah, Brendan Carlson very well could make our NHL team like this season. He's a good skater. He's just, yeah, all around I think he is NHL ready, and we will very likely be injecting him into the lineup here for this upcoming season. So we'll go to pick 64 now, and hopefully we'll get the guy I want. The second round didn't look all that promising, in my opinion and in my scouting. So let's see. I mean, McCulloch was decent. Mendoza was decent. There's some good players in here. Viitanen, yeah, he does have elite edges. Yes, he's a good-looking two-way forward for a left winger, but do we really need that kind of a forward over like an NHL prospect? I would say probably not. I mean, Timo Coco I was kind of looking at, but I think we're going to go with, again, another guarantee. I've got certain players pinned here that are guaranteed potential, and Cohen Schaefer is one of them. Again, we have kind of struggled to develop some really good goaltending prospects, so we're going to go with Schaefer. I know he's elite, but he is a 59 rated 18-year-old. Okay, so that's a really good second round pick. Keep an eye on Schaefer. We probably won't be giving him playtime immediately. We'll probably send him back down to the U.S., but that's okay because he looks really good. So for our next pick here at pick number 79, the guy I was kind of feeling over everybody here was actually the older player. Put up 21 points, nothing insane, but again, he's a defenseman, not a forward. I don't trust these 1-2 bar low elites. I mean, Lebedeau's interesting as well, but he didn't put up as many points. And if he's defensive, we don't really want that. So I am going to go with Paris here. I got him pinned. Character, leadership ability, passing ability is exactly what we're looking for, and he is an elite. Let's go. Okay, so that just makes me question how good are these other players going to be. Because yes, Paris is a 20-year-old, but that's not a bad pick at all. So let's see. How good were these other defensemen? Kreutzer was all right. LeBeau was not good. Okay, so we definitely made the right pick there. But yeah, overall, I think we definitely made the right pick. Walker looked okay, but again, not quite the elite player that we were looking for, that we actually landed in Paris, so that was exciting. All right, after that, I noticed Tony Marquardt here put up 72 points in 69 games as a 19-year-old for Kelowna, and he's a 2-year ETA, so I'm actually quite interested to see how he turns out. So we're going to take him, and he is low elite? No, he's a medium 6. I thought he was a low 6. But, medium 6 rated playmaker like that, not bad at all. We will give him the extra year to develop in Kelowna, but, he's scoring already at such a crazy pace that I think he's going to be just fine there. So that's a really good late third round pick. And over to the beginning of the fourth round now. And I had this Andrews guy. Yeah, Xander Andrews. I know, again, undersized kind of winger, but he's a guaranteed sniper. Put up 42 points for Sault Ste. Marie. Again, pretty good development curve. He just lacks size, but I know he's a 20-year-old again, and he is elite. Nice. Okay, so I went with him because I thought his shooting was going to be better, and unfortunately it isn't really great, 1.5 stars, but he is 55 rated for a 4th-round pick, so. Is it Xander or Xavier? Andrews. Xander Andrews. That's quite the name, hey? So, over to pick 108 now, and at pick 108, I believe I had somebody pinned off the board here. There's a guy named Emelin or Yemelin. Yeah, because he's a huge body potential two-way forward. And you go through here, and there aren't really a ton of other elite players overall, so I guess there are actually. I didn't realize how many there were, how many we went by, but we're not picking, we're at pick 100, right? Emelin is kind of off the board, but Ouellette and Lizek was actually pretty decent, but I'm kind of feeling the big 6'5" center, to be honest. We don't have a ton of two-way forwards that physically dominate like that, so I'm going to go with Emelin, and he is, okay, he's a medium 6. I was really hoping he would be elite, because if he was elite, my goodness, but, you know, another really good, slightly lucky pick, but I will take that. That is a huge, huge two-way forward in the 4th round, so. All right, we are crushing it this draft. You look at the potential we've landed. It's been really solid. Apart from that, you know, we're at pick 160 here, and pick 160 isn't really looking like there's too much potential that we've just missed out on. So, yeah, there's like pretty much nothing. We've had some of the best picks in the draft, so. Next up, I probably should go with Arkhipov, but he is 19. I had this Dominguez guy pinned. I don't know if he's gonna be the player that we're looking for over like Hendry or Mann. Who else do I even have pinned here? Kind of just guys that line up with our picks more or less, and 172 isn't spectacular, but I probably should go with Dominguez. I kind of get the feeling Arkipov's going to be like a high fringe, to be completely honest. He didn't play at all, so how do you really know, right? I'm going to go with Dominguez. I'm still going to take that pick, and he is a low elite. Okay, how good is he, though? He is 63 rated. Oh my goodness, that is a steal again. Okay, AJ Dominguez, how are you doing there, buddy? 23 points in Windsor. Good skater, better shooter, good puck skills for a two-way defenseman. He's actually very well-rounded for a two-way defenseman. So, all right, over to pick 192 now. And with that Dominguez pick, I'm not going to be upset if we missed some players because, well, let's see. Boys was good. Arkhipov, I called it. He's a fringe. I kind of had the feeling that he was not going to be so good. So, Casanello, I'm not feeling. Instead, we're going to go with an off-the-board pick. I feel like Verkinen could be good as well, but why? I don't know why I have Mendez pinned over everybody else. Alright, so at pick 192, I'm seeing this Ricard Verkinen guy, and they're saying he probably has superstar ability, so I'm going to take him. And he is a medium 7th. Okay, that's not great. We do miss out on a pick here, which, you know, happens every now and then. He's a huge defenseman, but just unfortunately doesn't have the potential to back it up. Alright, so over to pick number 224, and we're going to see who's good. Oh, Rourke was good. I could have picked him. Well, that sucks. Miss out on Rodney Rourke. He would have been a nice late round power forward that, you know, potentially could develop still. And apart from that, I think we're taking this Mendez guy. Yeah, I'm going to go with Brett Mendez for our final pick. And he turns out to be a low 9 playmaker. Playmaker? Maybe power forward. I don't know. Okay, so Virkanen's kind of the one miss out of that whole draft. We land Sheldon Taylor and Brendan Carlson, who are just going to be insanely good, pretty much NHL-ready players right off the bat. The rest of these guys have potential. We'll see if they develop. Schaefer's kind of the one that I'm most looking forward to because we do need a new goalie coming up here soon, but not a bad draft. All right, so as we hit the offseason and the re-sign phase here, I'm just wondering how many players do we even have anybody expiring? We've got Mason Shaw, who doesn't want to play for us anymore. He's been pretty decent, to be honest, like solid 20, 30-point scorer, but he is undersized. He's a great skater for his size, honestly, but I think Carlson is going to replace him. Jakub Krajicek put up 33 points again this season. He has been steady, like consistent 30-plus point guy every year, so I think we're going to offer him an extension. Do we have, who else is on extension dollars here? Wallstedt doesn't want to sign with us. And at 82 rated, it's kind of hard to really back that up. Yes, he won 38 games this year, but Philip Lindbergh also played extremely well. 124 out of 36, had a .912 save percentage for us, and honestly, for $5 million for a goalie, he's not really doing bad by any means. So it kind of sucks that Wallstedt just doesn't want the extension. We look into the system, and yeah, a guy like Lawrence probably is ready to come up. He won 51 games this year with Iowa. Like, that's insane. So I think we do bring him up, give him a shot in the NHL. We'll sign Piero Zabottle, and that's probably how this offseason's kind of going to go. I guess we'll qualify. Wallstedt because I just don't see any other kind of path or route of this happening. So I'm just wondering what an 85% contract on Krajicek's going to look like here. Would be $3.25 million, which actually isn't all that bad, or 3.275 for Krajicek. So we will offer him that. I do think that when we look into the system here, that there are guys that are going to fill these roles without a doubt. Like, of course, Carlson just looks NHL ready. So apart from that, Sheldon Taylor probably should get another year in the AHL, but I'm just wondering, because Khabibulin hasn't really developed the way I wanted him to, and that's been a bit rough on this team. Overall, our centers and our position is still set extremely well. It's set up extremely well, so there is a chance we could bring Khabibulin and Carlson up into the NHL for this upcoming season. As far as defensemen go, our D-core is just stacked, and we have guys like Chen coming up. Chen's going to need a contract because he developed extremely well. Taylor's going to get another year of development probably. We'll sign Ed Friesen too. And yeah, I'm extremely happy with where this is right now. So nothing really to be commented on or changed. Our left wing looks stacked because we always seem to draft left wingers. Which is a bit of a strange one, but that's just how it works out sometimes. And we do need to sign Skylar Moran this year. He put up 94 points in 68 games. He should be like NHL ready at this point, and he's not, which is unfortunate. And Jermaine McGinn scored 99 points in 66 games, so he, again, is probably AHL ready. Mario Cote, again, down year, low hockey IQ. I don't know if we're going to end up trading him. That might be the case. And our system is looking interesting, too, because we got a guy like Lundin who just scored 70 points for Iowa and sees zero growth. Like, how does that happen? I don't understand how that happens, but it does. So All right, that's where we're at. Let's get into this offseason. We've offered that one extension there. I'm sure we're going to have some scouts and other players and such expiring. We lose... Oh, no, we don't lose our AHL head coach, but we just have to re-sign him. We'll get him re-signed, and apart from that, we do have a couple scouts calling it quits or retiring here, or just their contracts are expiring. So... we should get all of these guys. I don't see why not. And they have really been doing their job quite well. We've been landing lots of good prospects. So Leon Koch, Nicholas Moran. All right, we do get, or Nicholas Lawrence. We do get Jakub Krajicek on the extension there, so that's good. And let's hit the re-sign phase here. So Matthew Boldy is going to be one of the next contract extensions coming up. But overall, we really don't have that bad a contract situation on this team right now. If we do need to clear cap space, it's probably going to be a guy like Carson Lambos, just because he hasn't produced at the same level as many of our other players, and we have the defensemen coming up the system to get this done. So with that in mind, Mason Shaw doesn't want the contract extension. That's okay. We will probably end up releasing him and then just creating a new contract or a new roster spot. Apart from that, Graham Sword we will re-sign, but yeah, Shaw is gone. Leon Koch is going to get an extension. How many expiries do we have here? So Neighbors will clear up one spot for Moran, which works. Or I guess Chen, yeah. He'll clear up that spot for Chen. Duhaime was pretty decent. Or Duhaime, however you say his name. He's been pretty good in the AHL as far as leading our team goes. He's probably one of the leaders in that group. Pavel Novak, same kind of situation, but again, we have Moran, Friesen. I want to sign McGinn too, so that's 3. Kavasha makes it 4 because now we can sign Russian prospects again. So yeah, we would probably end up releasing Jacina and Bruce here because again, those guys haven't developed. So that clears up 2 spots, but then we do need to clear up extra spots. If we are going to sign those 4 players. So with that in mind, looking at our overall team, I think Pavel Novak is probably the guy we hold on to and kind of keep him as our captain. And apart from him, we probably could release Damon Hunt too. He's 27 years old at only 75 rated. So yeah, we'll buy him out for the cheap price there. We will sign Novak for 2 years at $1 million. We'll get Samuel Moran in here. We'll get Ed Friesen. We'll get Jermaine McGinn too, and we should get, I want to get Kvasha. But yeah, some of these guys just aren't going to develop. Like Jacina is gone, Jody Bruce is gone, and all right, we probably should release one more guy here too. I'm going to say it's going to be Felipe Howard's actually played extremely well for this team, despite being a Washington Capitals pick. So maybe we hold on to him for one more year. But apart from that, Duhaime I haven't signed. Yeah, this is a tough kind of situation to have to let certain guys go. I mean, Connor Dewar has been better. So has Johnson. Like, we have good players. That's the thing, is that holding on to a guy like Duhaime isn't necessarily a make or break decision, but I feel bad having to make that decision in general. So maybe something else we do is we qualify Wallstedt for now. We have to sign Pitkanen by the looks of it, because we literally just can't offer him anything more. Or like he's just going to expire. We don't have another option, but At that point, I would rather release a guy like Huselius or buy him out, which again, cheap call, but it's worth it. We'll sign Cade Pierre-Zabottle and we'll sign Pitkanen. Pitkanen actually is loaded with X Factors. I did not realize how many X Factors that guy has. So, with that in mind, Wallstedt doesn't want the extension. I don't know why. Is he just like ridiculously unhappy? Not really. He's just doesn't want to play for this team anymore, which again doesn't make sense to me. He's got nobody with low locker room chemistry. He's not favored or unfavored by any of the coaches. He's been dominant in his career. He's got a .904 save percentage and 149 wins in 222 appearances. That's really good. So I don't get why he doesn't want to re-sign with us. But I think we could run Lindbergh and Lawrence together, and we'd have a great goaltending tandem there regardless. So that's kind of what we're looking at. I feel like it's a bit of a strange scenario, but that's our team. So as we advance a day or two here, we're going to see most of the scouts. We don't get Torsten Lindholm, which kind of sucks. So we're going to have to go out and get a new coach, unfortunately, because of that, for the AHL. But our AHL coach has been fantastic up to this point, too. So we get Lawrence, we get Moran, we get McGinn, Leon Koch, Ben Carlson, Novak, Sword, Friesen, Pitkanen, Shen, Pierre-Zabottle. We got everybody, I believe. And all of the big contracts were already signed. So that's good. All right, the team looks really good. Do we have space for DeHame still? I believe we do. And we do have that qualified offer on Wallstedt too, which we can't really do anything about at this current moment. So yeah, coming up here though, with the current team, there is a possibility that we have to trade Carson Lambos. It's not a very prominent one right now. He is a great physical presence on this team. Like, he's like 90s across his physical category, which is insane. Apart from 85 fighting, but like, who cares? He's got 99 shot blocking and stick checking instead. So he is a defensive unit on this team. To be completely honest, he probably should have more X factors, but that's okay. You know, I always like to add my X factors in here a bit more. So let's go and add Duhaime's contract back onto this team. I don't know why I didn't do that. And let's just get the coaches sorted out as well. Because, yeah, this is a little bit frustrating. When you've got an AHL coach who just does not want to sign with your team again. And if that does end up being the case, which it might be, we shouldn't have to pay him this much money. But if this is the case, then we are going to have to go out and get a new forward coach that plays that double pinch and cycle, which is going to be difficult. So, yeah. I mean, that is what... No, Brendan Frank plays a hold line cycle, which works for this team. It's surprisingly good. I mean, you can tell by his win record, like 66.8 point percentage over, 3 years with this team? Oh no, he's been coaching us for a while, never mind. Yeah, we went out and got Brendan Frank, like, right back in 2021-22, so... Yeah, he's won a lot of games for this team, so... Not only that, but look at the... Coach influence is a little down, but teaching, penalty kill, power play, like everything's an A+ on this guy. He's insane. So, gotta love the coach. He's led us to 3 straight cups. And, alright, let's advance another day. Hopefully get our coach back here. Maybe not. And we get Duhaime. Do we get our coach? We do not. Alright, Torsten Lindholm. So, we'll have to go sign a new coach, which happens. And let's do that now, because the rest of our team is set up, ready to go. Let's go try to find a new AHL head coach. So for forwards at the AHL head coach position, we're looking for probably something quite similar to Janicki. I like his system. It's a 69% fit, which we're probably not going to find much better than. Rohan Prince plays an interesting one that actually fits our team quite well as well, but... I don't think we're going to find, we're not going to find a better one than Janicki right here. So let's offer him just a massive contract, like 900K or $1 million. and he should take that. I don't see why he wouldn't, so hopefully we do get Andre Janicki there. And all right, Wallstedt's going to go on the block. Apart from him, the only other guys I really see fit to trade is maybe Mario Code. But yeah, I do really like where the team's at. I like how everything's set up. I like that Ben Carlson's an 80 rated 18-year-old on this team. There's a lot to like. So Minnesota is in a great spot. We drafted well in this last draft too. And well, let's see what free agents hit the market here this year. But it's not like we're really going to be pursuing them. We've got $5 million to play around with and don't need to sign anybody. So Byron Dunham turned into a fantastic player. What about like low elite players that didn't necessarily get drafted? Like, yeah, Jokela's one of those guys. How about Koivu or Buzas? Those guys look okay, to be honest. Christopher Draper, sorry, not Chris Draper, like the Chris Draper that played for the Red Wings way back in the day, but I say way back in the day, it was early 2000s. How about Morgan Moy being available, right? We could go after him. But again, played for Tucson there in the minors, put up a ridiculous stat line, but just isn't quite the piece we need, doesn't skate well enough more than anything. And what about goalies? What about goalies are we looking at here? Mirinen, Rafalski, there's multiple like good goalies in here that we could pursue. Even like Carter Hart isn't really all that expensive. It would be easy enough to clear up cap space to get him, but Wallstedt wants $5.5 million. That's insane. I don't think he is worth that, but so the question falls down to, do we move both our goalies that weren't really able to win all that much? Rafalski was. He was good on Anaheim this year, but do we make a potential move like that for a guy that, you know, has just been winning like crazy? Do we go for like a Shesterkin kind of goalie who won 46 with the Red Wings? Do we try to stick with Wallstedt despite him not really wanting to play for this team? Like, it's hard to figure out as far as how we're going to play this. I do want Wallstedt more than anybody else on this team, but at the same time, it's like, which backups actually played well enough to deserve a contract? Like, yes, we're going to try to bring Wallstedt back. He's going to be our main focus. Vanacek isn't bad. Caden Primo is probably the goalie we would want, just based on the fact that he won 45 there in the AHL. Hugo Alnefelt won, is that 21 wins? That was that was 21 out of 42. Not bad. Bjorklund won 40. Hey? And he's 1.75 million. All right, yeah, Bjorklund might be the guy that we go out and pursue. We'll just trade off our goalies for worse versions. But yeah, Bjorklund, what the heck, hey? 1.75 million as well. I think that's doable. All right, so we're going to offer Bjorklund a contract here. We're going to go 2 years at 1.95 million. All right, so we're going to offer Garen Bjorklund a contract. We're going to go and find a trade for our goalie here in Philip Lindbergh. And as we do that, we will clear up a roster spot. We could get a third and a fourth for Lindbergh. That's not bad. Plus, we're clearing up $5 million worth of cap space. The question now is, which team is probably the worst? I would say Washington, maybe. Maybe Washington, maybe Winnipeg. Yeah, okay, let's send Lindbergh to Washington. I think that's the right move here. And the reason we're doing this is just to kind of stick with Wallstedt's record more than anything else, but I do think it's the right move here just to kind of keep this team's morale intact and everything, so we will send Lindbergh away. Yes, Boldy doesn't like the move, but Wallstedt, who has been playing absolutely fabulous, again, 150 wins for this franchise, is going to stick with us. That's kind of what we're committing to with this move. So as we continue on here, Wallstedt is going to get his preferred contract. If we offer him 2 years, he's only $4.67 million, which I think is the right move. We will do that, and we'll advance here. And I believe that after that, with the goalies getting sorted out, that we will be good. So, all right, we get Andre Janicki as our new AHL coach. That looks good. And apart from that, we do get Garen Bjorklund, and we do get Jesper Wallstedt. Beautiful. All right, let's advance to the next season. All right, so the one roster move we're going to make this year is we are going to bring Jakub Habibulin up to the NHL. I think we're going to put him in the lineup, but I'm not sure yet. So, guys, this is what the lineup's going to look like this year with Habibulin in there. I know we don't have Marcus Foligno in the lineup yet. Reason being is he's just not a good enough fit for our bottom six to really, beat out all these other guys, these youngsters, these under 25 players that all look like they're going to have really good long careers here in Minnesota. So the bottom line just looks amazing. Brendan Carlson is a great addition. We're going to look at number 5. I don't know if that's necessarily the number I want him to wear, but we'll see what he prefers. Apart from that, Kradichek and Zilkin are looking great. LeCavalier, Habibulin, and Lapierre get a +5 on the third line, which is going to hopefully outscore a lot of other teams. Again, Habibulin needs the NHL playtime to really get some growth because he just hasn't grown over the last 2 years, despite putting up what is a combined 132 points throughout his 2 seasons in the AHL. He's been really good, but that's not what we're looking for anymore. We're looking for some serious growth from a 7th overall pick in 2027 that, probably should be doing a little bit better than he is. But along with that, the Bonnet, Boldy, Kaprizov line is still there, and then the Michkov, Rossi, Foligno line was just unstoppable last year. On defense, we got Weller and Eriksson again, what I like to call the Twin Towers. They're both 6'5", 230 pounds or bigger. And then we got Lambos and Oduya, and then we got Rankel and Sexton. As far as Wallstedt and Bjorklund go, these guys both had huge seasons last year for their respective teams. 40 wins in 62 games for Bjorklund was very impressive to me, and 38 in 53 for Wallstedt is just insane. So, again, with the defense that we have in front of these guys, I don't doubt that those guys will be able to put up numbers similar to that, again, as far as winning percentages go. And here's a quick look at the special teams. They are special. They are insanely good. And if you want to take a closer look at them, feel free to pause the video. And then, of course, our extras and 4-on-4 just all look so strong. This team has a really good shot at potentially winning a couple more titles as far as NHL Stanley Cups go. So, looking at the AHL, I know Leon Koch is 23 and probably should be playing up over a guy like Jakub Habibulin, but again, I think Habibulin's going to be better than Koch, despite not really seeing the same level of growth, but we don't really need snipers in the team either over playmakers at this point, so this is how our AHL lineup is going. Keep an eye on Jermaine McGinn. He looks really good. His skating is actually up there, which usually isn't the case for third-round snipers. Apart from that, it's a very well-rounded forward group. We have a new player here in Troy Chen, who looks like a great two-way defenseman, playing alongside Jenner. Friesen's a new signing as well, and Sundin's up to an 80, so he's actually looking really good too. In goal, we've got Nicholas Lawrence, who is minor starting goalie caliber, won 51 games last year with Iowa. He's been playing with Iowa for so long now that I really don't expect him to last more than another season before he really breaks out and we see some growth. Cade Piero-Zabotl playing out of the U.S. League. Again, another really good-looking goalie. Had a combined 68 wins over 129 appearances. He looks really good as well. And we do have decent subs down in the minors as well. And special teams aren't anything great this year, but again, not really our main concern here. We are looking for some growth, but again, that's not like our main objective with Iowa at this point. So that's the teams that's we're going to be rolling with for this upcoming season. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, the upcoming draft class also looks kind of interesting. You know, Bjorkstrand being a top 2 pick, as well as this Don Gibbons and a couple other players in here, make it an interesting draft class. But anyways, guys, I think that's where we're going to be wrapping it up. The best goalie in this draft is going to be Yuri Antropov at pick 62, roughly. So that's it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, and hit notifications, and also make sure to leave comments to possibly get featured. But that is going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Etaniel signing out, and until next time.